The internet is trembling right now because Candace Owens, the woman who never backs down, the voice who built her brand on exposing lies and confronting the powerful, has just dropped a hint so massive, so cryptic, and so terrifying that people are convinced something huge is coming. And this isn't just another tweet, another clip, or another soundbite. This feels like a warning, a countdown, a shot fired in the dead of night that tells you the storm isn't on the horizon anymore, it's already here. Picture this: Candace on camera, her eyes burning with intensity, her tone lower, heavier, more deliberate than usual. She leans forward and she says the words that have now been played millions of times across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. It's coming. They've tried to silence me. They've tried to stop me, but they can't. When it breaks, the world will know, and nobody can pretend they weren't warned. Those words aren't just a tease. They're a detonation. They're the kind of words that keep people awake at night, scrolling endlessly, asking themselves, what does Candace know, and why is she daring to say it now? Within minutes, her cryptic clip went viral. Hashtags like hashtag Owens warning, hashtag it is coming, and hashtag the truth started flooding global trends. Millions began dissecting her expression, her body language, even the pauses between her sentences. Entire threads spun out of control, claiming she was preparing to drop the biggest expose of her career. Others insisted she was in danger, that she'd revealed too much, and that forces bigger than her were already moving to silence her. One viral tweet summed up the collective paranoia perfectly. This doesn't feel like a stunt. This feels like a warning before the collapse of something massive. And here's the terrifying part. Insiders claim Candace has been acting differently for weeks. Canceled appearances, mysterious absences, sudden whispers about preparing for something big. Some close to her have even hinted she's been gathering evidence files, recordings, documents that could tear through the walls of power like dynamite. What's inside those files? Nobody knows for sure. But everyone agrees on one thing. If Candace Owens is hinting that a bombshell is coming, then it's not just drama, it's a countdown to destruction. But the most chilling part, this isn't just about Candace. This is about who she's about to expose. Political insiders, Hollywood elites, billionaire power players, or all of the above. And if she's right that they are trying to silence her, then how far will they go to stop her before she speaks? One thing is clear: Candace Owens has lit the fuse. The only question now is, when will the explosion hit? Candace Owens didn't just appear out of nowhere. Her rise has always been laced with fire, fury, and controversy, and that's exactly why her latest cryptic warning feels so dangerous. To understand the weight of what she just hinted, you have to know the kind of woman Candace is, the battles she's fought, and the enemies she's made along the way. Because make no mistake, her career has been a steady climb into the spotlight, but also a steady march into the crosshairs of some of the most powerful people in America. Candace first burst onto the scene as a bold, fearless commentator, unafraid to say what others only whispered. While most voices in politics played safe, she charged into debates like a warrior, cutting through her opponents with the sharpness of her words. To her fans, she became a truth teller, a lightning rod of honesty in a culture obsessed with silence. To her critics, she became a villain, someone too reckless, too unapologetic, too willing to burn bridges just to make her point. And with every headline she generated, with every feud she ignited, she carved her place as one of the most polarizing figures of her generation. Over the years, Candace has taken aim at nearly every corner of power: celebrities, politicians, activists, corporations, and even former allies. She has accused elites of hypocrisy, exposed inconsistencies in their stories, and publicly humiliated those who thought they were untouchable. In doing so, she didn't just build a following, she built a movement. Millions tune into her podcast, follow her online, and cling to her every word because they believe. She has access to truths others are too afraid to say. But here's where things get chilling. Candace has always dropped hints. Throughout her career, she's made offhand comments about hidden networks, cover-ups, and secrets people would never believe. Back then, fans thought she was being metaphorical, just dramatic flair. But now, those old clips are resurfacing with a new, terrifying clarity. Did Candace Owens already know something years ago? Was she preparing her audience for this exact moment, slowly planting seeds before delivering the real bombshell? Let's not forget the patterns. In 2021, Candace teased that a reckoning was coming for the political class. Weeks later, scandals broke that rocked campaigns. In 2022, she told her followers to watch Hollywood carefully. And suddenly, a string of celebrity controversies erupted. And just last year, she cryptically said, "Names you've trusted will betray you." Now, with her most recent warning about something huge on the horizon, fans are combing through her history and realizing the possibility that she's been building toward this moment all along. And yet, this feels different. This doesn't feel like commentary. This feels like a plan. Multiple insiders are whispering that Candace has been more secretive than ever, pulling her inner circle tighter, refusing to share details even with close friends, and hinting in private conversations that she's sitting on files that could break everything. These are the kinds of whispers that turn into paranoia. The idea that Candace Owens isn't just speaking truth anymore. She's holding proof. But here's the real question. Proof of what? Some insiders speculate it's political corruption at the highest level, exposed with recordings and documents. Others think it's cultural powerful celebrities tied to scandals the public has never seen. And the wildest theory, that it's not one or the other, but both. That Candace Owens is preparing to connect dots between politics, Hollywood, and money in ways the public never imagined. And if that's true, then this isn't just about Candace Owens making headlines. This is about her putting herself directly in the crosshairs of people who have everything to lose. Already, there are rumors that her team has received warnings, quiet phone calls, anonymous messages, even veiled threats telling her to stop before it's too late. Candace herself has admitted on air, "They want me silent. They think fear will shut me up." But here's where it gets even scarier. She hasn't backed down. If anything, she's leaning in harder, her voice sharper, her words heavier, her warnings darker. It's as if she knows the risk, but she's already accepted it. And that's what makes this moment so explosive. Because Candace Owens isn't just another commentator, stirring drama for clicks. She's someone who thrives on confrontation. Someone who's built her career by calling out the very people now rumored to be behind the shadows of this story. And if she really is about to reveal the kind of truth she's hinting at, then the backlash won't just be noise. It will be war. And that's where the first crack in the surface begins. Because right after her warning went viral, a piece of leaked evidence appeared online events that suggests her words weren't just hype. They were a setup for the first shocking twist. The fuse finally sparked when Candace Owens' cryptic words collided with a leak that no one saw coming. For days, speculation had been boiling, the internet turning her warning into 1,000 theories. But then, in the dead of night, screenshots appeared on Twitter from an anonymous account. These weren't memes. They weren't half-baked conspiracies. They looked like receipts, confidential emails, financial transfers, calendar entries. And the most shocking part? The initials attached to these documents matched names people instantly recognized, household names. The kind of names that send chills when whispered within minutes. Hashtags like #OwensFiles and #ExposeTheNetwork exploded worldwide. TikTok creators zoomed in on the blurry documents, circling dates and signatures, comparing fonts, and linking them back to scandals people thought were long buried. A viral thread with over 2 million views screamed, "Candace wasn't bluffing. The files are real. This is just the beginning." And then came the most jaw-dropping twist, a leaked voicemail. Grainy, muffled, but unmistakably tense. A male voice said, "If Candace talks, we're finished. Shut it down now." The recording spread like wildfire, igniting chaos across every platform. Who is the voice? Nobody knew for sure. Some claimed it sounded like a powerful senator. Others swore it was an A-list Hollywood actor. The uncertainty only made it scarier. Candace's response? She poured gasoline on the fire. She tweeted just one line in all caps, "I warned you." That was it. No clarification, no denial. Just 3 words that shook her followers to the core. Was she confirming the leaks? Was she daring her enemies to come after her? Or was she playing a game so dangerous that even her supporters began to fear for her safety? Insiders claim Candace's team went into lockdown mode the moment the leaks surfaced. Security was reportedly heightened around her home. Staff members were told to keep their phones off and their movements quiet. One insider whispered, "She knows they're watching. She's not scared. She's furious." But here's where the story took an even darker turn. Hours after the leaks went viral, multiple mainstream outlets published suspiciously similar articles dismissing the documents as misinformation. The coordination felt eerie, too fast, too synchronized, too rehearsed. To her fans, this was confirmation. The machine was already working overtime to bury the story. And yet, Candace didn't back down. In fact, she doubled down. On her podcast, she said something that sent shivers down every listener's spine. "What you saw is the tip of the iceberg. They're panicking because they know I've got more. And when I drop it, there won't be any coming back." The internet exploded again. Was she holding on to more files? Was this only part 1 of a much larger expose? TikTokers stitched her warning with old interviews, claiming she'd been dropping clues for years. Twitter sleuths began cross-referencing the leaked names with campaign donations, corporate scandals, and celebrity feuds. A wildfire of suspicion raged through every corner of social media. But then the shocking twist no one expected. Just hours after her podcast aired, Candace's official website mysteriously went offline. Her Instagram glitched, posts vanishing one by one. Fans screamed censorship. Critics mocked her as paranoid. But behind the scenes, insiders whispered something terrifying. They're coming after her harder than ever. And she knows the next move could ruin everything. The lawsuit-like threats, the coordinated media push, the strange glitches at all pointed to one chilling reality. Candace Owens wasn't just teasing anymore. She was fighting a war, and if the first leaks were enough to make the internet implode, then the next revelation she promised could bring down empires. And then the escalation hit like a bomb. Just when people thought Candace Owens' cryptic warning and the leaked files had caused enough chaos, she raised the stakes to a level no one was prepared for. In a live stream that reached hundreds of thousands within minutes, she dropped her most terrifying claim yet. "What you've seen so far isn't even 1% of what I have." The chat went insane. Comments flew across the screen. "Drop IT now. Candace, be careful. They're going to take you out." But Candace didn't flinch. Her expression was deadly serious as she explained that she had been holding back because the public wasn't ready. And then she leaned in and whispered, "Now you are." Suddenly, the screen cut to a distorted, clip-blurry video. Scrambled audio, but clear enough to make viewers gasp. Several figures, their faces partially obscured, were seated around a polished table. One muttered, "If this leaks, we lose control." Another replied, "Keep her quiet. Pay whatever it costs." The clip ended abruptly, and Candace reappeared on screen. She said only, "They know I'm telling the truth. That's why they're panicking." Twitter erupted instantly. Some were convinced the video was faked, a stunt for attention. But others swore they recognized the voices. Speculation reached a fever-pitch. Threads connected the figures to politicians, CEOs, even a Hollywood mogul whose name has been whispered in scandals for years. Theories were so widespread that entire subreddits were created overnight, dedicated to dissecting every frame of Candace's video. And then came the shocking reveal. An anonymous account claiming to be a whistleblower posted a chilling statement. Candace isn't lying. She has documents that could end careers, topple industries, and expose people you idolize. If anything happens to her, they will be released automatically. Attached to the post was what looked like a legal agreement, signed, dated, and marked confidential, bearing the name of a figure. So powerful that fans refused to believe it could be real. The internet lost its mind. Was this the proof Candace had been hinting at? Was she sitting on evidence so radioactive it could bring down household names? The frenzy was unstoppable. TikTok was flooded with edits of her whispering, "Now, you are set to ominous music." YouTube channels streamed emergency panels dissecting the alleged whistleblower document line by line. And on Twitter, hashtags like #OwensReveals and #Expose the elite surged into global trends. But here's where the escalation took an even darker twist. Mainstream outlets suddenly pivoted, not just dismissing her, but actively attacking her. Headlines read, "Owens spirals into dangerous conspiracy and Candace Owens' wild claims debunked." Late-night hosts mocked her. But to her fans, this was the smoking gun. If she's lying, why are they so desperate to shut her down? One viral tweet asked, "This is bigger than we know." And then Candace dropped the line that froze the internet. "This isn't just about corruption. This is about survival. And they're terrified I'm still breathing." Her words sent shockwaves through every platform. Was she implying her life was in danger? Was she hinting that powerful forces were actively trying to silence her? Suddenly, her cryptic hints weren't just political, they were life or death. Fans begged her to stay safe. Others demanded she reveal everything immediately before it was too late. And in the middle of the chaos, one anonymous account posted a chilling countdown clock, simply labeled, "The Drop." Now, the question wasn't just what Candace Owens knew. The question was when the bomb would drop and whether she'd survive to deliver it. Herself, the world erupted into absolute chaos after Candace's chilling reveal. Social media didn't just react, it detonated. Twitter X became a battlefield of hashtags. #Candace knows, #Owens files, #The Drop. Millions of people, from ordinary fans to influencers, weighed in on what they thought was about to be exposed. TikTok exploded with creators posting frantic breakdowns, zooming into screenshots, replaying her live stream frame by frame, analyzing every pause in her voice like it was the Zapruder film. YouTube was flooded with emergency broadcasts from political commentators and conspiracy channels, each one swearing they had decoded the truth. One viral fan video screamed over dramatic music, "This isn't gossip. This isn't drama. This is the beginning of the collapse of everything we thought we knew." Another clip showed a teenager crying on camera. If they're trying to stop her, then she must be telling the truth. "I'm scared of what's coming." It was no longer entertainment, it was hysteria. But it wasn't just fans. Public figures began weighing in, and the industry split down the middle. A well-known rapper tweeted, "Candace playing with fire." But sometimes fire is the only way to burn the trash. Meanwhile, a Hollywood actress posted an Instagram story that read, "This woman is dangerous. Don't believe a word of it." That single post triggered millions of comments, half accusing her of being part of the cover-up, half defending her as a victim of Candace's wild theories. Political figures jumped in too. One senator cryptically posted, "Interesting times. The truth always finds a way." Within minutes, thousands were speculating he was siding with Candace. Another politician, clearly rattled, went on live TV to dismiss her as a provocateur spreading lies. But the tremble in his voice only fueled more suspicion. Mainstream media outlets went into overdrive. CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and late-night hosts mocked her claims, rolling out experts to declare the leaks doctored and the whistleblower video fake. But the synchronized wave of denial only raised more eyebrows. A viral tweet summed it up. If it was nonsense, why would the entire media machine activate at once? And then came the chilling industry reaction. Anonymous reports surfaced that major corporations had quietly begun damage assessment meetings. A leaked memo, allegedly from a PR firm, warned its elite clients, "Prepare statements in case your name appears in Owens' files." The idea that billion-dollar brands were even preparing for fallout sent fans spiraling. The cultural divide grew wider by the hour. On Reddit, users built giant maps linking politicians, celebrities, and corporations together with Candace's cryptic clues. On Instagram, fan pages became war rooms, with users posting countdown clocks to her promised final drop. Discord servers popped up overnight, dedicated solely to decoding her warnings. It felt less like internet drama and more like the build-up to a global event. And then the cruelest twist. In the middle of the frenzy, Candace's verified accounts suddenly glitched. Posts vanished. A live stream cut off abruptly. Screenshots of her page showing content not available spread like wildfire. Some claimed it was censorship. Others swore it was hackers. But her supporters were convinced of something far more sinister. That someone was trying to silence her in real time. The panic hit a fever pitch when an anonymous Telegram channel, claiming to be linked to Candace's allies, posted one terrifying message: "If she disappears, the files release automatically. Nothing can stop it now." The internet froze. The public wasn't just watching drama anymore. They were waiting for a detonation. And the industry? They were terrified. Because if Candace really had the proof she claimed, then careers, reputations, and entire empires could be reduced to ash overnight. And that's when the final twist came into play, because Candace Owens hadn't even shown her deadliest card yet. And then came the nightmare. The final twist: Candace Owens had been holding back all along. For weeks, she had teased. For days, she had hinted. And for hours, the internet had spiraled into chaos. But nothing, not the leaks, not the cryptic countdowns, not the whispers of censorship, could prepare the world for what she dropped next. In a live stream that instantly drew millions, Candace appeared with a single folder in her hand. No dramatic music, no special effects, just her. Sitting at a desk, staring into the camera like someone who knew the moment she spoke, everything would change. Her first words sent chills through the stream. "They told me not to do this. They told me I'd regret it. But I'm done being afraid. Tonight, you'll see why they've been desperate to silence me." She opened the folder, flipped through pages, and then she stopped. Her eyes narrowed. "This," she said, holding up one sheet of paper, "is the one they never wanted you to see." The camera blurred the document intentionally or by accident. No one knows, but you could make out just enough official seals, signatures, and names. Big names. Household names. The kind of names that make entire industries shake. She didn't say them out loud. She didn't need to. The implication was enough to send Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube into a frenzy. Within minutes, hashtags like #Owens drop and #they are exposed trended worldwide, and then she dropped the true bombshell. If anything happens to me, if this stream cuts off, if I'm silenced, these files go out automatically. Every name, every crime, every connection. The world will know. The live chat went insane. People typed frantically. They're gonna shut it down. Candace, please be careful. This is bigger than Watergate. Viewers claimed their screens glitched, that the stream lagged, that the audio distorted right as she spoke those words. Conspiracy theorists swore this was proof she was being actively monitored. And then, right as she leaned in to reveal more, the screen froze. Her live stream cut off abruptly. Silence, darkness. Millions of viewers left staring at a blank screen. Within seconds, panic erupted. Did they take her down? Was it a hack? Or did Candace herself pull the plug, leaving the world dangling on a cliffhanger so steep it felt unbearable? What happened next made it even scarier. Within 10 minutes of the stream ending, an anonymous account posted a cryptic message. This was part 3. The final drop is coming. No details. No time. Just that chilling promise. And that's where we are now, stuck in a limbo of panic, paranoia, and suspense. Candace Owens has hinted at something so massive, so earth-shattering, that the world can no longer look away. The powerful are panicking. The public is divided. And her supporters. They're bracing for the moment when the files drop and everything changes forever. Because if Candace Owens is telling the truth, then the biggest bombshell hasn't landed yet. And when it does, it won't just expose a few names, it will tear the mask off an entire system. The only question is, will Candace survive long enough to deliver it herself?